If you clicked on this video hoping to see me boxing up chicken legs and broccoli in a 7 separate airtight containers and then stacking them neatly into my fridge, then you clicked on the wrong video. Because A, I don't really eat chicken legs or broccoli. And B, I've never been successful with traditional meal prepping like that. Plus C, my fridge is a freaking mess. And I never have time to clean it because I spend like 20 hours a week making these videos. But I also don't meal prep like this because it's tedious and boring. Plus, I know myself. I know that I could waste a whole lot of time boxing up chicken and broccoli only to be completely bored of it 2 days later. And I know I'll never force myself to eat something that I really don't want, especially when it's so easy to hit up a drive-thru with crap that tastes so much better. So that means I just wasted my entire day off packing up meals that I'll never eat, and I end up spending at least double on food. Because all of this goes directly into the trash after sitting untouched in my fridge for an entire week. Plus, those drive-through meals I got instead, well, let's just say those aren't helping me reach my goals. Which means I have to plan meals that don't require hours of prep work, and it has to be food that I actually like. But there is some prep work required. And the first way I make high protein meal prep easy is by eating the same foods pretty much every day. But wait, isn't eating the same thing every day just as boring as this? Well, no, because the foods I eat every day are foods that I actually enjoy, meals that are easy and things that I look forward to. And you have to have a few easy meals you look forward to if you actually want to stick to your diet. Plus, understanding which foods work best for you that you also enjoy and then eating them often is a trick that many successful dieters use. So I make high protein recipes like this pizza breakfast bagel because who doesn't want pizza for breakfast? Of course, I do have to meal prep a little since those egg whites won't cook themselves. But I know if I'm craving a pizza breakfast bagel, I'll probably just end up eating the same thing most of the week. Which means I batch cook a tray of egg white thins and store leftovers in the fridge. Now I have an easy breakfast to reheat for the rest of the week. And even if I do get bored of pizza for breakfast, I still have a few other recipes in my high protein recipe library that use egg white thins. That way I am not wasting time or money. Plus, all of the meals in my recipe library are simple, which makes meal prep easy, and sometimes I can even do it while getting other things done. When I'm ready for a simple breakfast, all I have to do is spray a bagel thin, add some low sugar sauce, top with cheese, pop a few of these on the side, and air fry for a few minutes. Another tip for easy high protein meal prep is keep a running shopping list, because I don't want to find out that I'm out of my favorite bagel thins right before I'm about to make my pizza breakfast bagel. So whenever the bag is halfway empty, that's a cue to add it to my list. That way I remember to get it next time I'm at the store. Unless your husband eats the same food, because he never remembers to put anything on the list. Speaking of always being stocked up, my fridge is always stocked up with a variety of boar's head lunch meats, like honey maple turkey and flame grilled chicken. We got some American cheddar and some picante provolone. Ugh, that's my husband. Now maybe you're turning your nose up at the suggestion of lunch meat. Well, I'm not suggesting stocking up on bologna and hot dogs like we did in the 80s. High quality deli meat like chicken, turkey, and roast beef aren't really that bad. Well, at least they've been a staple in my diet for the past few years and I haven't killed over yet. So there's that. Plus, if you don't want to eat deli meat, you don't have to. But as for me, stocking up on deli meat has been an easy way to add more protein into my high protein diet without a lot of meal prepping required. Because if I want to add even more protein to this high protein breakfast bagel, I just eat a few ounces of honey maple turkey while it's cooking and bam, I just doubled my protein. Plus, if I need a quick high protein snack, rolling up a few pieces of sliced deli meat is an easy solution. I even added to an apple and cheese to make a high-protein charcuterie board as a filling afternoon snack. The only problem I have with using deli meat so often in my high-protein plan is I hate waiting in line for freshly sliced deli meat. But I also don't want to settle for the pre-sliced stuff because that's never as good. After standing in different deli lines pretty much in every store in Arizona, I realized they all take just as long to slice my meat. But I found a solution that took my meal prep laziness to a whole new level. Because I found out that with just a few clicks, I can order freshly sliced deli meat from stores like Fry's. And I don't even have to wait in line because these guys bring it right out to my car for me. Well, not these guys. These guys don't really work here. I just didn't want to film some random grocery store worker without permission, so while rotating through the same breakfasts and lunches that work for my plan makes daytime meal prep easy, that leaves dinner. 5 nights each week, these same guys expect a home-cooked meal. I mean, can you believe the nerve of some people? That's where simple dinners that I know are high in protein come into play. Because every time I find a recipe that everyone eats, I immediately add it to my recipe library. After years of adding recipes that both of my kids will eat, we are up to 2 whole recipes. But even if I add just the recipes that my husband and I like, whenever it's time to decide on dinner, I don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. And that lack of thinking frees up my brain to make other decisions. Like, do I want chocolate or vanilla protein ice cream after dinner? Let me think about that one, and we'll get back to high protein desserts in a minute. If you want to make high protein meal planning easy, start building your own high protein recipe library. Anytime you find a recipe you love that doesn't contain like 30 random ingredients and doesn't take upwards of 2 hours to cook, add it to your library. That way you have recipe ideas you know you'll enjoy anytime your kitchen creativity is lacking. Or you could be even lazier than me and just steal my recipe library. I mean, it already has over 50 easy recipes that come in around 500 calories with 40 to 50 grams of protein per meal. Either way, get yourself a high protein recipe library with easy recipes that you can make in less than 20 minutes. That way, you don't have to spend hours each week doing this only to end up doing this. But you don't even have to spend that long on doing this, because another easy way I meal prep is by doubling dinner recipes. That way I can save leftovers to reheat for lunch or maybe an easy high protein breakfast, because beef tostadas for breakfast are delicious. But I hate leftovers. They're so boring and leftovery. Well, that's not an attitude that will help you reach your goals, especially when you can turn your favorites into multiple recipes that you can use in different ways throughout the week. Like the zesty crockpot chicken. Instead of cooking only a pound or two, it's just as easy to add 3 pounds of chicken into the crock pot. That way, I have leftover barbecue chicken to make barbecue chicken nachos, barbecue chicken baked potato, or even barbecue chicken tostadas. Well, only if I get to it before this little chicken monster.
Stop eating my chicken.
I mean, has anyone else met a kid who eats chicken for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert? But I also do the same thing with things like taco meat. It's so easy to double the recipe and then turn the leftovers into a completely new meal. Speaking of doubling batches, the same thing goes anytime I make a high protein dessert recipe, because something like this can take a minute to make. So who wants to make them every other day? But if you have a little self-control and you know that you won't eat them all in one sitting, then you can make bigger batches to enjoy throughout the week. Same goes with protein ice cream. Instead of creating a mess 6 times that week, I make all of my ice cream for the week whenever I have a few minutes to blend up the ice cream mix. And when you blend this 2-ingredient chocolate protein ice cream, you get to eat this entire pint for less than 200 calories. Plus, it has 30 grams of protein. But you also have to be picky, since a lot of protein powders can leave you feeling bloated or hungry. I love this chocolate protein powder from Equip, since it tastes just like chocolate ice cream with no excess hunger or bloating. If you haven't tried it yet, you can save 15% with the code Nissa at checkout. And it's this kind of batch cooking that makes high protein meal prep easy, even for the laziest of the lazy meal preppers. Now that I just taught you how to be a lazy meal prepper like me, you have to watch this video where I show you 6 things that I'm doing right now to lose my last 10 pounds. I learned a ton since losing my first 40 pounds with a high protein diet, and I want you to learn from all of the mistakes I made so you don't make them too. Don't look mad, look sad.
Wait, redo that. Stop eating my chicken!